know, Charlton Heston or James Earl Jones like, reading of Scripture? One person left. That's better than nobody. He does a good job, though, doesn't he? And thank you, choir. Thank you very much for that nice, upbeat, and, the word didn't come to me. Okay, so what is the dominant metaphor in this passage we just read? I would assume that it might be salt. And we live in a day and a time where most of us get too much salt in our diet. Right? Anybody here have too much salt in it? Anybody go to the doctor and the doctor says, cut back on the salt? Yeah, a couple of you? Anybody, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't ask this question, but some people have to take even, medicine, right, for regulating blood pressure and so forth, and salt in the diet is a problem. So maybe this metaphor needs a little bit of explanation to say you are the salt of the earth. Perhaps we should explore this a little bit. What are some uses of salt?
French fries.
French fries.
Preserve.
Preserve. Yes. Okay, to preserve. I'm sorry, what?
It enhances.
Enhances the flavor, right?
Preserves.
Preserves. Oh yeah, everything you said is right. Preserves, purifies, gives flavor to food. You guys left out something. I'm sure it's a trauma memory that you're trying to erase. It melts the ice. Right? Which, by the way, I heard a story that Tuesday we may have some more. Which, in case it starts snowing Monday night, stay home. Right? Stay home. Yeah, salting somebody's, it's great for, torturing your enemies, right? That's another, only you, Woody, would have thought of that and said it in church. No, I'm just kidding. So salt gives flavor to food. These are the sorts of things that we typically think about when we read the Scripture. In fact, Nate and Renee introduced us to Bob's Burgers, and they have over there these, like when you pick up your food. How many of you have ever been to Bob's Burgers? It's kind of like Five Guys, but it's not Five Guys. And over there, where you pick up your food, they have these different cans of seasoning salts. Like they have like a cayenne pepper, and a barbecue flavored salt, and a salt and vinegar flavored salt. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but so it's great to just put some of that on your French fries. And you think that regularly salted French fries taste good? You should try them with hot pepper salt or something else. It's great. Preserves things, right? After all, what would country ham be? We wouldn't have country ham, right? We didn't have salt. But of course, that's not what Jesus is talking about. What is salt? What is saltiness? Now, if we were talking about who among us is salty, we can go back to Woody's comment about, salting people's wounds. But yes, what is, from a Christian standpoint, what is salt?
You take your mouth and you open it up like that.
Yeah.
And you have prettier disposition, not it.
That's true.
But you have to smile and get the salt through your ear.
Yeah.
And it allows you to keep this part of your capability to say anything you want.
That's very true. And Beck said something. You said distinctive salt makes you distinctive, as opposed to kind of blending in with everything else, right? Yes, very good. What are some examples of salt from First Christian Church, Marietta?
You hear somebody say, well, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt.
Take that with a grain of salt. Sometimes we have to take things with a grain of salt, right? Yeah, especially in the church. Sometimes we have to take things with a grain of salt.
Grandpa's killed the old hawk, it's all in down.
There we go.
I like the illusion you used of salt melting the ice.
Yes.
As Christians with Christ in our hearts,
Yeah.
it is our job to melt the ice of reserved people
That's right.
by being the fellowship of Christ and opening the door for them to come to Christ.
Is it okay if I call you Deborah?
Pardon?
Is it okay if I call you Deborah?
Yes.
Deborah, you're a theologian. Yes, ma'am.
Salt creates thirst.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It creates thirst.
It creates a thirst. And are we not supposed to, through our work, through our teaching, through our efforts, to create this hunger and this thirst, and like we read last week's verse, for righteousness, for God. This, yeah, excellent. You guys we got a room full of theologians this morning. Yes, William?
Well, salt in combination with pepper provides a spicy variety of life.
That's true. And spice is variety is a spice supply, right? Sorry. I don't want to turn the sermon into a cliche now, but yeah, you're right. Salt and pepper. Okay. Earlier this week when I heard the phrase salt and pepper used, it was one of my 10th graders describing the color of my hair. Yeah, that's right. Salt and pepper. Okay. So I want to suggest to you some other definitions of salt. "25 years of marriage." And for some of you, it's a lot more than that, right? For us, in May, it's 25. 50 years of marriage. Now, why do I say that? Because, I mean, it's kind of obvious that we're talking about a long period of time, but you know it hasn't been a cakewalk for Ann every day for 25 years, has it? No, that's why you pray for her extra every day, right? You know, we tend to look for excitement, we tend to look for the flash, okay? But salt represents that sort of enduring, day after day, constancy. That, salt is not really glamorous, and salt is not really, like something that you eat on special occasions. Like if you have a birthday, you have cake, right? If you have cake every day, there's potentially a problem there, right? But salt is something that we need every day. And the truth is that we need salt. And if we don't get enough salt, we can die, right? If you get injured, you go to the hospital, or if you get sick, you get dehydrated. What do? They plug an IV in your arm, and they're going to give you a solution of salt and water, right? And that's the way it is in marriage, or any relationship. It doesn't just become, birthday cake and balloons every day. There is that day after day after day, faithfulness and commitment, even though you have to live with something like this, right? Now, thinking along those lines, what are some other examples of salt? Down
In fact, she's the theologian, I'm
Yeah.
the conservative.
Okay.
I will push the same views directly, okay? And we can get along with the handshake.
That's right, we can. What about Farmer Brown driving that van every, Thursday, Friday? To the Target? Where do you go pick up? Publix, okay. Week after week, for how long? How many years?
23 years.
About 23 years. That's salt. You see what I mean?